Hey guys, I'm just gonna be checking out the history mode because little known fact is that Kubold actually added some new reward cards to there. So I figured I'd have a look. I might do some warm up before the Saber tourney for anybody who might be watching. That's obviously coming. I might also shuffle the brackets on stream just to keep it transparent too. I'll probably do it like 5 times or something. We'll see what happens with that. But for now, let's just dive into the history mode. Don't expect many viewers for this, but you never know. I'm sure most people are either concerned with warm up for the tourney or, other stuff at this point. So I just thought it was interesting that he added some new cards. I don't know what exactly they are or anything, so we'll see. Some of them are pretty interesting to begin with, so I think I'll actually turn on music. Especially since we're playing the history mode, the maps should be like randomized and stuff, so I think it won't hurt to turn on music. Keep some variety. I don't know, I think it's usually like this or something. You can just reset it, yeah. There we go. Apply it. Let me know if anything's too loud, by the way. Or too quiet, etc. Yeah, history buff. Oh, interesting. We can't do the if both fencers get a kill, it's a double. That makes sense, actually. There has to be a winner, I suppose. Clear winner. Can't really draw in a mode like this, can you? Fighting Isabella here as Yazik. I think the number of flags is slightly randomized too. I haven't played this in a while, so this mode. Okay, so winning a duel in the 17th century could get you in big financial troubles. For example, Jan Paszek in year 1660 had to pay 1,200 zloty to his opponents for damages. Even though they started the fight, that's the price of a few excellent war horses. Damn. No, I haven't, but I've heard of it. That that sounded pretty cool from what you were saying. How there's hay in the tables and stuff instead of the fence. So I think I'll give that a look as well. But yeah, that's something people often forget. Like duels were a pretty big deal. You couldn't just duel whoever you pleased and necessarily get away with it, right? And 1,200 zloty, I mean that's a lot. That's probably like 3 sports cars or something. Because good war horses, right? Might be a good comparison. Bit hard to make those sorts of comparisons, but oh dear. I think this is my first time fighting the AI version of Yandrik in general, so I'm glad I'm using Marie. Yeah, I think just in Quartada to win. Yeah, the AI firm doesn't seem very good. Yeah, that's all you gotta do. Against the player, not so much though, as I learned the hard way against Zero. The east fringes of Ukraine were known as the Wild Fields, a no man's land where saber and pistol were the only law. Yeah, I think I've seen this one. I hope we get some story in that area. Oh, here we go. Here's the map. This looks really cool, actually. I like it. We're next to some type of tavern or inn. think it's the same size roughly, but yeah, it looks much more natural. Oh dear, the AI is obviously not on a very hard difficulty. Way too passive there. I think when it's aggressive, it's actually at least threatening. I'm just playing it very safe. Yeah, I agree that it looks better. Ormanka is a popular style of saber among the Polish nobility. Its name derives from Armenian craftsmen that immigrated to Poland and brought their unique style of saber with them. That's cool. I think I've seen this one as well, now that I see it again. Oh dear. Okay, Incortada with her, probably not a good idea. A little bit slow. Not a fan of Marta's guard, so I might actually be in a little bit of trouble if the AI is not too passive. Oh dear. He tried to grab me. Oh shit. Damn, right around her nose. So he's like hooking her nose in that case, not even choking her. That wouldn't be fun though. I might actually lose this one. I'm not very good with Marta. He's actually doing it right. Okay. Maybe I should have pushed him there. Marie, alright. See, the thing with a lot of the AI is as soon as you try stabbing them, they back away. And so you can... When you use characters like Marie, they're just trivially easy. Oftentimes. Marta less so because she's slow, but... Even Alexander, some of his point work is really good, and you can follow it up with a cut. And it's just... You just slaughter them. Poland and Lithuania had a small Tartar minority known as Lipkui or Lipka Tartars. Cool. That doesn't surprise me at all. Crimean Khanate's not that far, nor is Russia, so... Double. Oh, that was actually a nice move by the AI. Not good enough, though. Unfortunately, that cut, while it's good on paper, just doesn't really hit hard, I don't think. Bamat was a race of small, hairy horses used primarily by Tartars. Although small in size, they were unrivaled when it came to stamina and resistance to cold and hunger. Yeah, that makes sense. They had some good horses over there, man. Oh, I get Gideon again. Against Alexander, not sure I like that. Okay, that was a stupid double. Oh, the AI grabs you, man. I gotta give him credit for that. Oh dear, yeah. Damn it. Damn it. I thought I had him. I was a bit too aggressive. The thrust did not work quite as well as I anticipated. Oh yeah. Samuel might actually be a counter to him. I have no idea though. I just think his cuts have tons of presence and he dominates the center line really well. And he has reach. Plus he has fast recovery. You kind of need fast recovery against Yendrick if you're caught by any of his hits. Yeah, look at that. I'm just blocking many of his attacks with my attacks. So, 17th century, a special sword hanged in some court houses. What? Oh, okay. So like a special... Is it like a saber or something? Or is it like an executioner sword? That might be what he means. Yeah, executioner sword. Yeah, that would be what it is. I think that's that's a little foreshadowing there, because he plans to include an executioner. Like he had the whole thing about Tartars, right? Obviously he's gonna include a Tartar at some point. So I think it's a similar deal for that. What does a true Cossack need? Bread, steppe, and the sky. Very deep. That's a good point about the sky, though. That's how you navigate. So I'm sure the nomads really need that. Oh god. I love how he's not even choking her. It's amazing. Just hooks the head. That would still hurt. Okay. Marta is hopeless. I feel like if I was using Murray, I'd be quicker and whatnot. Okay, Zara's a good character. Can never figure out how to land that thrust anymore. But at least you can follow it up. A bunch of Zara mains seem to do it easily. Chinese tea was quite new to the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. First sources are from 1664. King of Poland Jan Kazimierz wrote to his wife asking how to prepare it. Yeah, that's how globalized the world was. There was some trade even going in there. Alright. I won't complain about getting Marie. Oh dear. He blocked those somehow. There it is. But again, the AI is so passive. Because I'm stabbing at him, he doesn't cut me back. It's... There, that was just a timing thing. He happened to be cutting at the same time. Okay, there we go. Thought I had a free stab. Okay, I actually gotta be a bit careful. There we go. Today, Cossacks are mainly associated with cavalry, but in the 17th century they were mainly infantrymen. That I didn't know, actually. That's interesting. So they were like light infantry types, I guess? That changed in like the Napoleonic era for sure though, because they were mostly light cavalry by then. So okay, that's really interesting. It's probably something I should have known, but oh dear, he somehow got away with that. Oh no, oh no, oh no, he's pushing me. The AI's learned something from Koala, it seems. Oh, I should not have pushed. I always think I can just push the AI. Oh well. I don't play Laszlo, so. Bada bash. That sidestep never has the range I think it does. Should not have done that. This one does, though. Yeah, that one's better. Okay, the AI knows how to deal with it, I think. Crap, I was trying to beat the blade. I grabbed the AI, there you go. That's pretty hard to do, actually. Alright. Had me a little bit scared there. Steel for blades was very difficult to make until the 19th century Industrial Revolution, so a well-made sword could be worth tons of money. Yeah, that's true. Swords are more common at this point than I think people give them credit for, but they could certainly be very expensive. There's no doubt about that. If you're a serf, you're definitely not buying a bunch of swords or anything like that, right? God, this is like the third time I've been stuck with Marta. Yeah, see, look at that. Look how scared the AI is of being stabbed. In that case, it made some sense, though. You nearly got run through. Oh dear. I didn't mean to cut. I think the AI is deliberately beating thrust down now, so that's an improvement. Obviously with the introduction of that mechanic. I think Laszlo's actually a pretty good counter to her. Thigh stab. Sharpness of the sword can make a world of difference in damage it causes. Yeah, of course. That's true, yeah. Clothing can resist cuts better than some people think. If the sword is not sharp. Or properly sharpened, I should say. Oh my goodness, Samuel. I'll take a double. I was badly damaged too. Yeah. Yeah, the AI is better, as much as I'm kind of picking it apart right now. That it's doing some things right, for sure. And I think the AI level varies in this mode. The difficulty level, I mean. Another double. Here we go. The AI does not exploit Samuel's recovery, thankfully. If it could do that, it would actually be quite threatening. Although still present, shields in the 17th century were used less and less. They couldn't stop musket bullets. Yeah. Apparently in the Sudan, they had rhino hide skins that could block bullets, but as a general rule, you know, that's not going to happen. I think there's steel ones too, where like in a very specific spot, maybe you'll block a bullet, but yeah, you shouldn't be relying on shields to stop bullets. Not handheld shields, anyway. Problem is, if you make a shield in this time period especially that can block bullets, it's going to be really heavy. For the most part. But Rhino Hide is pretty tough stuff, so... I don't think it would block as well against, like, Spear Thrust, though. It would protect you, but it wouldn't, like... It might struggle a bit more against that than a bullet, perhaps, like Kevlar. Jan Chrysotom Pashik, a 17th century Polish soldier, writes about his day. Today we counted 15 duels in the camp. It was obvious that I was under God's protection that day. He saved me from harm when I dueled three other men. Wow. That's a lot of duels, actually. For one person, like... You know, duels were fairly common, but obviously people weren't dueling each other constantly, otherwise... Just imagine how many people would be dying. But in some places it was a big enough problem that they eventually put a stop to it, so... At least on paper they did. Poor Calc. Never give a reason for a duel. Never be arrogant because you'll be killed by any random man. Instead, be humble and demand respect. Pray to God and you'll win. Jan Chrysotom Pashik, 1660. I don't know if it's the best advice, at least the God part, but being humble and respect, you know, I can agree with those. Don't be arrogant, right? I think practicing with your sword is good too. That's all I mean by that. Yeah, they say if you want peace, you gotta prepare for war, so... Similar thing with self-defense, I suppose. Oh dear. See, that's a time where retreating from the thrust is a good idea. The AI is good at doing that quickly, yeah. Unfortunately, Gideon's kind of tough to use against Isabella. Certainly in my hands. Oh dear. Yeah, that move's bad. I shouldn't use that. Yeah, I'm pretty hopeless with Calc, so... Don't expect anything good from me regarding that. I said that move was bad, then I did it again, but yeah, the leg switches messed me up. I'm not a fan of how he switches feet diagonally, but, you know, I know some people like that as well, so... It's all about taste, I suppose. I think the Samuel AI is actually pretty good, which makes sense. Surely he's got good AI for Samuel cooking somewhere, because the boss and everything. It's not as good as the boss AI, though, I don't think. Oh, he just grabbed me, okay. That's the thing the AI is the best at. Oh dear. God, Gideon, aim for his head, don't aim for the sword. I think it's just the nature of the move. It's a bit, like, short range, depending on the foot forward. Oh dear, yeah. Okay, I'll duel against another Marta, that's fine. And also I get the music, so... The music slaps in this game, man. I don't think there's a single track that's bad. I guess Yandor's a bit cheesy if you're not into that, but I like it. Oh dear. That was a little janky. But I'll give the AI credit for that, and that's always good. Wow, perfect. Right in the throat. Yeah, that move seems to just get right past Alex's guard if he doesn't long guard, which the AI doesn't seem to know how to do, so. At least in this case. The rapier characters definitely know how. Oh, the font's different. What the heck? Plain, everyday 17th century clothing was often enough to protect from sword cuts. Blades need to be very sharp to cut through several layers of woolen fabric. Thrusts, on the other hand, can easily go through. Yeah, that's more or less correct. It's easier to pierce material in general with a stab than it is a cut. I think that's one of the new ones. That's probably a way to market that you get a different font. I don't know. Kalkstein. Might not be so bad in this case because I'm fighting Marie. Can lawn guard and I'm more or less safe that way. I think I defeated a Marie once of Kalkstein actually in a random character tournament, so I was pretty happy with that. I think I was in against a newer player. Against a Marie main, I would not like that matchup. Anyway. Double hits in a competitive sports context pose scoring difficulties and lack appeal for the audience. To address this, the right-of-way rule was introduced, whereby the fencer who initiates the attack first is awarded a point in the event of a double hit. This rule incentivizes the defender to focus on defending the incoming attack rather than aiming for a simultaneous hit. Excuse me. You can optionally use right-of-way in Hellish Court. Yeah. Not a huge fan of it myself, but I see where it's coming from. You know, it's one of those things. Okay, I use my main now. Hopefully I don't embarrass myself. Gideon actually blocks some of those pretty well. But I'm getting away with it. Alright. I just don't want to make a mistake. Oh dear. There it is. I think Gideon is actually a decent counter. So. That should be okay. I fought Ilxus a bunch. I shouldn't lose this. Oh, no, 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 no. Don't you dare grab me. That's not happening. I think it tried grabbing me again, but I just messed it up. There it is. Basket-hilted swords offer excellent hand protection, akin to having a buckler attached to your blade. However, their protectiveness comes at a cost, and they can be twice as heavy as a dueling saber, resulting in slower swings. Yeah, my understanding is some of them can get pretty heavy, but I think it varies, doesn't it? But obviously, at the same time, if you're adding hand protection to a weapon, you know, the weight has to go up somewhere, so. Always a sacrifice with that type of thing. Something that's often forgotten, too. People like hand protection on swords, especially in the Western world, but A, there's other ways to protect your hand, like a curve, and B, it comes at a cost. Shields as well, those can help, among other things. Wow, the AI is actually doing the right thing, I would say. Oh, got a bit close there, but... Maybe a bit passive at the end, but you don't want to be in the pocket. And I think I'm figuring out how Ilchis does some of these combos now. I'm just not very quick with them. 17th century Poland, a common method of treating wounds involved covering them with a mixture of bread and old spider webs. What? Although this may not seem medically appropriate, research suggests the old cobwebs are often covered with Penicillium species fungi, known for their antimicrobial properties. I didn't know that. So they were onto something with the cobwebs. The bread I can understand, because if it's moldy, that can also have actually antibacterial properties, so yeah, that makes some sense. Now that it's explained. Yeah, people think they were really stupid in the past with like all the medicine stuff that doesn't quite line up with our modern way of thinking, but they were not dumb people. There certainly were some treatments that didn't work, but there were also many that did, even if they didn't work as well as, say, antibiotics do today. You know, things like wine and vinegar too, or honey. Those can stop localized infection at the very least. They won't stop a blood infection though, so if it gets deeper in the body, then you're kind of in trouble, but they had some ways. Unfortunately, no original treatises on 17th century Polish saber fencing have ever been discovered. As a result, modern attempts to reconstruct the Polish cross-cutting style are experimental and often rely on scant information, such as a handful of sentences recorded in noblemen's memoirs. Yeah, that makes sense. Definitely a tough situation in that regard. Jendrik. Oh dear. I'm kind of nervous because Alexander can be a really good counter. But it is the AI, so maybe I'll be fine. Starting a bit close to him too, which isn't great. I grabbed him. Awesome. That's a proper choke. Oh my goodness, his face got messed up though. I am the sword, deadly against all weapons. Neither spear nor poleaxe nor dagger can prevail against me. I'll crush anyone who opposes me. I am of royal blood. I dispense justice, advance the cause of good, and destroy evil. Fiore di Libri, Fencing Master 1409. I like that quote, honestly. I think it's generated a bit of controversy, though. Some people are like, no, the sword can't beat spears and poleaxes, but, you know, it's symbolic, is what it is. And I think he's alluding to its versatility as well as the prestige, I guess. You can definitely use a sword in more situations than spears. Like, they're just appropriate for more situations anyway, because they're civilian weapons as well as military weapons, so there is something to that, I guess. And somehow I'm winning. The AI being ultra passive. Doesn't know what long guard is. Granted, sometimes against Marta you actually want to use something else. Keep striking and wounding. Keep attacking viciously, whether you hit or miss, and the revered fencing masters will hate you because they'll be forced into defense. But know the proper distance and measure. Don't attack out of distance, yeah. Yeah, that's an interesting piece of advice there, and that kind of alludes to how aggressive certain German styles can be, on the one hand. Yeah, bit of interesting advice there. But it is only one way of looking at it out of many, so. He's not saying abandon defense, though. That's not the way we interpret that, of course. just that you're doing both at the same time. In one tempo. Oh goodness. Poor Gideon. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Only one use. That is something that kind of separates the elite from the commoners to an extent too. It's just that monopoly on violence. It's a bit more nuanced than that, of course, but that's the general idea. It's that the elites are supposed to fight. Know the weak and the strong part of the sword. The strong part is from the grip up to the middle of the blade, and from the middle up to the point is the weak part. Use the strong part of the blade against his weak. Displace or block his sword with the strong part. Yeah, exactly. Very important concept there. Oh dear, that's embarrassing. That's one way to deal with Alexander's long guard, by the way. You can just cut me. Unironically, Marie has some pretty decent cutting. Oh god, does the AI know? Oh shit. I didn't think it would do that again. Oh, it switched it up. God damn it. I thought it was gonna cut again. Oh well. That's when the AI often gets me, is when it surprises me with something a bit advanced or it faints. Sometimes the AI does that. I haven't seen much of that here, but that makes sense, yeah. Hit my head. The AI is trying some weird side steps. I'd go about it a different way. His sword went flying. Let's try pushing him. Oh shit, too far. Yeah. I'll take a double, sure. The loot was great. Horse, tax, silver, tents, chests full of immense riches. So every other chest was valued 100,000, and priceless Janissary sabers. We took a great many camels to Poland, so everyone rode camels instead of horses. Wow. Yeah, the Turks liked their camels, let's put it that way. Imagine how expensive those might be, like, because they're rarer in Europe than obviously in the East. Pretty useful animals too, but it's what many soldiers were in it for, the loot. I gotta focus now. Okay. Yeah, Zera's a pretty good counter. AI did that well. I have to find a way to initiate with Laszlo against Zera. I have an easier time with Alexander, so... So I think we'll keep doing this until 10:30, because that's when... Oh, he grabbed me. Shit. That's when I'll do the shuffling, and then I'll probably end the stream there. Damn. Perfect thrust. I'm getting better at landing those again, so That's good. It won't help me much in the saber tourney, though. Waiting for the battle to start. Our commanders sent a message to the enemy camp saying that we came here to fight and not to loiter. It's almost evening. They replied, you should be grateful we keep delaying your deaths, but it's going to happen, so be patient. Jan, yeah, it's Pashik again, a Polish soldier, 1660. I should look into those sources a bit. They seem pretty interesting. Oh dear. The AI just ran into my blade. Do not know what long guard is. Damn. I say this, if there's a chance, reloading guns is crucial. But a chance to reload during a battle is very rare. The saber remains king. Okay, so Pashik is saying that 1660. Obviously a bit of hyperbole there, you know. He's talking about melee weapons in general, but symbolic, right? The saber and the sword in general, so. But it's interesting that he points that out that late in the 17th century. Because guns are becoming pretty important. It also depends on what kind of warfare you're alluding to as well, I think. If you're in fortifications, the calculus might change a little bit. Anyway, I had such bad luck with horses in the army that I don't recall ever selling a single one, even though they were always expensive to purchase. They would either become lame, be killed, or simply die. And this streak of misfortune eventually forced me to leave the military. Wow. That's why he left the military, because he lost so many horses. Yet losing a horse is not a trivial matter, to say the least. But that's interesting. They sell them after, you know, after they're done with them, ideally, right? Sort of a return on your investment, I suppose. But that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Become lame, though. That sucks. Horses suffered a lot in war, man. But that's how it goes. Oh dear. See if the AI falls for these feints. Okay, he just stabbed me. He didn't care. Fair enough. Fair enough. That is often the correct response if you think it's just a feint. In that case, it really wasn't, in the sense that it forced a double. According to Jan Pashik's account of the Castilian of Zachrosism in 1660, that's the source I assume that he's quoting all these from. It is said that he often gets drunk and compels servants to play music while he wields his longsword, performing various fencing tricks, lunges and dodges until he's completely exhausted. An experienced fencer, that's what they say. A longsword, though, I wonder what he means by that. I assume this is translated to mean, you know, the two-handed version, but that's interesting. Sometimes longsword can just literally mean a sword that's long, though, too, so you gotta be careful with interpreting, but various fencing tricks, lunges, that's what they did with longswords in this time period. They weren't exactly battlefield weapons or weapons of self-defense anymore. They were weapons that appeared in fencing halls, so that's interesting. It mostly became a showy martial arts. I'm assuming this is the two-handed variation. And he often gets drunk, yeah. So that's the Castellan of Zachrosism using a long sword. Okay. That is curious. I can't pronounce half these Polish stuff, but, you know. Alright, I forced a double. I'll take it. That got past his long guard. Wow, that's cool. What was that? Lunge and an X? Okay, I learned something new with Marta. I haven't examined her moveset very closely, though, so that's worth keeping in mind. Oh, and yeah, you can follow that up with a thrust. That's really cool. That cut there. Our boys hacked and slashed, dead bodies piled up, corpses upon corpses, a ghastly stack, a haunting symbol of the brutal attack. Nice bit of poetry there. Also pretty brutal. Yeah, from the stuff I've read in Swordsman in the British Empire, like, sabers like this could just do absolute horrendous damage. Sometimes more than people expect. Like, people think only two-handed swords can sort of split your head in half, cut you in half, etc. But, man, some of these curved sabers, they can just... in skilled hands, anyway, they can do a number. Yeah, Marto's guard is horrible. The AI used long guard, though. the complete wrong time to do that, though. Okay, the journeyman looks after you the most when he drinks, and you don't have it when it fights. When I drink, my servants are near, but when I fight, they disappear. Fair enough. Yeah, they don't want nothing to do with that. Okay, so Alexander Mir. I should not lose this. I've trained this so much. What is the AI doing? This is weird. Spamming cuts. But it sort of worked. Alright, there it is. If I lose this, that's very embarrassing. Oh dear. What if Kubold breeds my guide and then scripts the AI based on that for Alexander? That'd be funny. Maybe I'll talk to him about that. Like looking at the way people fight and then inspiring the AI to sort of copy that. I think he's done that a little bit. I just have a funny feeling. But I don't think this should necessarily be high priority though, but anyway. Occasionally monstrous arrows would rain down near our positions, their arrowheads sporting shredded edges. We were awestruck by their size and wondered if giants were firing them. Little did we realize that they were Astrakhan Tartars, who plant one end of their massive bows on the ground, while the other end is way above their heads. Really? So that's like the great bows from Dark Souls, almost. Wow. So they use, like, powerful bows from foot. At least from what this account is saying. I'd have to look into that. That's interesting. I haven't really heard of that before. I've definitely heard of, like, Yumi bows being used a lot on foot, long bows and stuff, but yeah, the Tartar's doing stuff like that too, apparently. Kubold is inspiring me to do some reading, actually, so that's good. Oh dear, oh dear. Am I fighting Zero Null now? What is happening? Okay. Oh, what? That was a stupid whiff. That should have been a double, I think, to be fair. Because he did hit me, but oh well. I just thought I had a clear hit on his head there, but... Oh no, the AI's gonna grab me. I can just see it. Never mind. I thought the AI had a chance. To try anyway. Yeah, that's a really crappy map for Marie. This story never fails to amaze me, no matter how many times I tell it. 4 of our hussar regiments pursued the enemy too far into their lines, and 3,000 of them fired upon us simultaneously. But only 1 hussar and 4 soldiers fell along with my horse. It said that men, along with my horse, yeah, like my horse got shot, is what he's saying. It said that men shoot, but God carries the bullets, and the cannonade should have killed at least half of us. But then the hussars hit them like a wall of lances. Wow. Yeah, so that's the badass. People always say Polish winged hussars, but really most of them are hussars. But nonetheless, they were pretty damn formidable cavalry. I'd say the best in Europe at their height, anyway. Definitely a bold statement, but they just seem to absolutely shatter everything they charged into, and at least in the at their height. The traps they laid for foes with care became their own, a deadly snare. Qui facit foveum indict in eum. So he speaks Latin at the end by the look of it, and then he's talking about fleeing enemies stuck on their own fortifications. Oh no. Oh no. That sucks. Imagine getting trapped by your own traps while trying to flee the enemy. That is shitty. Imagine how stupid you would feel as you're about to die. Yeah, so this mode has caught my interest a lot, so we're actually close to the time where we're gonna have to shuffle the brackets, so we'll get to that. I think I've still got plenty to go. Cards, that is. So maybe we'll explore this another time, and when I start seeing repeats, we'll obviously stop. AI doesn't know how to long guard. I write only about the situations I witnessed myself, because my role is to write about my life, and not about the history of the country. You know what? These types of sources are awesome, because the grand history is fun and all, and the politics and stuff, but I think the histories of individual people need a lot of attention. Not, and when I say individual people, I don't mean necessarily rulers and nobles, you know, but just the average soldier, right? Among other types of people. We're very fortunate to even have them this far back, really. Very fortunate, so. Wow, the AI did the right thing there. The leg void, that was so cool. The whole army craved meat, living only on vegetables for several months. Our regular was the roast beetroot in various forms. Yes, beets. Roasted pierogi with beetroot. Mashed beetroot on flatbread bread. Cooked beetroot and folded flatbread. Sometimes with ground linseed as sauce. Yeah, that's the thing about being in the army. You don't necessarily eat well. You live off what you can grab or what provisions you have. And yeah, it's definitely not a life for you if you don't like camping. Let's put it that way. But it's a worse version of modern camping, essentially. Because at least if you're camping in the modern Western world, you're going to be well fed, probably, right? Okay, yeah, I kind of expected a grab. We encountered a village in the middle of the woods. We heard screams, Lamentations. A widow lived in the manor house. Can't remember her name. We come closer. They are robbing the manor. The noblewoman cries for help. Panoi, gentlemen, have you no fear of God? You rob a noble's manor. What's it to you? I reply. You see, I'm a nobleman too. They drew sabers. We did it too, and it started. Yeah, so there was a little bit of a fight there. Wow. Yeah, like one more, and we'll get started with the shuffling. I hope to win this one though, cause that would not be good if I miss out on another one. Oh dear, no, no, no. Okay, fine. Let's do another. One more for real, like 1028. Yeah, this will be the last one regardless. Alright. The AI is not grabbing me, so that's good. We're pushing. And there it is. See what the last one we get? I spoke a Latin word to him, de negare. He responded, "Don't speak in Latin, for you are dealing with simple soldiers." I retorted, "I can see you are simple. I will speak to you in simple words, or of complex ones. In fact, I'll do as I please. You were robbing this noble lady's manor." Realizing that words would not resolve the situation, I struck him in the chest with my warhammer. Damn. Probably broke something there. If not killed him. Uh, so yeah, let's end it there. Definitely have a look at this. There's a lot of rich material. And this has definitely inspired me to pursue that source that Kubold is drawing from. So if any of you are interested in history, definitely check that out. I'll probably post some stuff on the server too if I find anything interesting. But for now, I'll just make the announcement. Oh yes, I posted that video there. Okay, some suggestions given to Maestro about countering my Alexander. Maybe he'll use them. I don't know. If you still want in, I guess you gotta talk to me immediately. Because I'm definitely shuffling them now. 13 players, some new people have joined. That's really good to see. I think I'll close that window. We don't need the music in the background now. So yeah, let's... Standings, probably. No. Participants, here we go. They changed the format slightly. It's really weird. It's like centered now. But oh well, that's not affecting anything really. So Saber only tournament, like shuffle. I think I said 4 times, so that's 1, 2, 4 or 5, 3, 4, and 5. Let's do 5. And we're gonna start the tournament. This is set in stone unless somebody comes to me. We got 14 now. I think we just got somebody right as I shuffled, so that's good. This is the bracket that we're going to be dealing with. It's quite even. We got Tao up ahead, though. That should be concerning to a lot of you because Tao is a really good player. Rudy's up front as well. Most of us are stuck in round 1, though. So yeah, it'll be fun. It's set in stone here. My current opponent is 0-0. That will be a blast because I know his Laszlo is not to be underestimated. So I think I'll end it here. But yeah, definitely check out that history mode. It's much better than what it used to be. There are some cool facts in there already, but now Kubold has like actual sources and stuff in there. So it made for some interesting reading for sure. And I'll definitely look into it myself as someone who's really interested in military history. So I'll see you at tourney time in roughly 25 minutes.